Then send me to a region.
Galadriel.
If Sauron is there, I will send word.
You cannot face Sauron again. Sauron. Sauron.
You know, I never thought I would say this, but Amazon's Rings of Power makes me miss the Marvels.
What?
Even Brie Larson.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Reviewing season 2 is like being one of those guys unclogging the toilets at Taco Bell during a summer heat wave on Free Burrito Day. Action scenes fizzle out, emotional moments are forced, and the cinematography is so dark, I'm surprised some Hollywood critic hasn't called it a hate crime against color. And then you have a cast of participation trophy winners delivering cringe dialogue from an AI that overdosed on Rachel Ziegler interviews.
You were walking a treacherous path.
And yours is made of seawater. Take care to keep your feet beneath you. It's a long way to the bottom.
Weird.
Season 1's soullessness, at this point, almost feels like a breath of fresh air when compared to this year's crimes against common sense and culture. And we haven't even talked about the corrupted elf that likes to be called Daddy, King Puff and stuff, or Discount Gandalf. You add it all up, and Amazon's Rings of Power is one of the most painful viewing experiences of my life, and I survived the Acolyte. Season 1 of Rings lost over 63% of its viewers because the characters and stories are shit. Amazon used legendary names like Galadriel, Sauron, Elrond merely as camouflage to hide the fact that they wrote a show in like a CW high school drama. Think about it. When you break it down to its core, the way Prime put it out, we're talking about an evil magical bad boy that wants to rule the world by making some magical rings, and the girl chasing him like he banged her mom. And to up the ante, Amazon thought that they were going to throw in a J.J. Abrams plot device to trigger all the characters' motivations of a dying tree that's connected to the elves' immortality. So we get like this mission statement: find the cure, make the rings, heal the tree, save the elves. At $60 million an episode, season 2 picks right up where it left off. We got the dollar store Dark Lord Sauron. He continues his quest, and it's all the people who oppose him. The 3 elven ring pops get made, the dying tree gets healed, it glows, everyone's happy. Meantime, in the dwarven kingdom of Khazad-dûm, King Dumbass gets his 7 rings, and he thinks all right in the world as it solves some temporary problems for him. His son, Prince Dumbass, and his wife, Disa, which is Amazon's highly publicized first female black dwarf, instantly gets bad vibes that the ring King Dumbass is wearing is doing something naughty to him. Then you got Sauron. He shapeshifts into Aniltar, kind of like this glowing angelic being, yet who still has the same face, wearing just a bad wig and some new robes that somehow is able to fool an over 2,000-year-old elven smith, Gurly Brimbor, into making all these rings. Together, they make the 3 elven ring pops, they make the 7 rings for dwarves, and Aniltar insists that they make the 9 rings for mortal men.
To make rings for men.
Rings for men? Elves are not men.
Well, thank you, Captain Obvious.
From there, we meet the corrupted elf who likes to be called Daddy. He's the one that killed Sauron centuries ago. Daddy finds out he's alive, so he gets an orc army together to lead them into finishing off one final time. From there, we got Mary Sue is in the doghouse. Her best friend no longer trusts her since she had lied to everyone about Sauron's true identity. And King Puff and Stuff spends the majority of his time either singing, shouting, or lovingly gazing at his golden bling. While all that's taking place, Amazon's diversity higher elf comes back to show off his audition reel for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles by filling every single fight scene with needless flips and kangaroo hops choreographed by Reagan herself. Then the midget hobos with bad Irish accents come back to drag Discount Gandalf through a desert as they desperately search for a plot. Now, in between all of this, you got Elendil's idiot son, Isildur. He wants to escape from Mordor life. He's been stuck there since last season. On the island kingdom of Numenor, their king dies. A palace coup ensues, a lot of family drama, and it turns into a reality TV show. If that wasn't enough, Amazon then butchered another Tolkien character. Knockoff Bombadil recycles lines from the Fellowship of the Ring.
You should not be waking. Eat earth, dig deep, drink water.
You should not be working. Eat earth. Dig deep. Drink water.
To round out all the ridiculousness, all we got to do is toss in some nostalgia bait the studio used, done really badly. Generic wardrobes, daytime soap opera sets, and scenes that are explained at the end of each scene. Plus, we get to meet a pack of Persian warriors, skull masks included, and meet a new mystery box wizard, of course, without a name. All of this leads to a final confrontation with Muxaron, where the studio is hoping that fight will somehow desperately imitate Peter Jackson's epic Battle of Helm's Deep.
Guard!
Mix that all together with a funeral pacing that's slow enough to make a Buddhist monk rage quit reincarnation, and it's the dialogue that sticks out. A collection of rejected fortune cookie phrases that Amazon used as an IQ test when they were hiring their writers.
It does not take the eye of an eagle to see your thoughts have flown far afield.
Now, you're all caught up.
Sauron.
Season 2 is more than halfway through. But you know, originally I was going to review this by breaking down all 6 episodes. But then it hit me. There are no real episodes. There is no real story here. There are not even any real scenes. Just snapshots in time in between people talking a lot, but not saying anything that really matters. Hell, my family photo album relays more emotions. Plus, there aren't any real characters, just a cast that wasted too much time being trained how to roll their R's.
You have to roll your R's. Bad guy's name?
Sauron.
He lives in
Mordor.
Rob plays the character
Elrond.
Sauron.
Amazon had a lot of plans for this series. One of them was to pollute the minds of a new generation, take a chip out of Western culture, and to accomplish all that by turning Tolkien into their new mascot for their 2-day free shipping policies. And how did they do it? You can see one example after the other. How they treated one of literature's greatest villains. They throwed him in the premiere, which was a 20-minute flashback episode, and told everyone how Muxaron went from this dollar store dark god running for president of Orcs Lives Matter to getting killed by his own hat before he turned into a black blob that flopped down a mountain. In that very same episode, Elrond steals the 3 elven ring pops, only to be cornered by Mary Sue and King Puff and stuff in a knockoff of the Fugitive film, which somehow Amazon showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay forgot their own ending to the season 1 finale, where Elrond only knew that the guy who had helped make the rings was shady, not Muxaron. Yeah, Brian thought, we're just going to mix things up for season 2 a little bit. We're going to have Elrond steal the rings without knowing the reason why he stole them, and only discover the reason he did it after he stole them.
With all due respect, that don't make a lot of sense.
That's the level of talent that was brought together to cook up the world's very first fast food fiction. That might work well in Hollywood, where they write shows for themselves and the rest of the echo chamber, but all of us aren't laid out flat in a DEI coma. From there, you can look at Prince Dumbass. He buys a crystal rock for his wife, Disa, which ends up rolling down the hallway, leading her to discover a secret chamber. A chamber, by the way, which is 25 feet away from a marketplace that stood for thousands of years, visited by hundreds of dwarves a month. Yet not one life form could discover this gaping hole in the wall of a mountain that would foreshadow the doom of the dwarves. No, that was reserved for her. Because in this season, only women count. They're the only ones that do the important things, all while the men are made to hide in the shadows or made to look like fools. No actor was spared being shamed in Amazon's series. Take Elendil. He gets his big moment in the sun to shine, and the scene is copied right out of the Dead Poets Society. The same thing happens to Mary Sue. She gets to butcher another famous line, all while making a fool out of herself, while trying to compete with the very gravitas of Ian McKellen's Gandalf.
Go back to the shadow.
Go back to the shadow.
Even Amazon took a time out. They wanted to show Hollywood how diverse their fantasy world was, just like the real world. So they highlighted a multicultural party of elves that looked like they got off the bus from a downtown LA food court. When it's all said and done at the end of the day, the screenwriters weren't even ashamed that they stole lines from Tolkien's books and they took them out of time, place, and all parts of the world.
Many that die deserve life. Some that live deserve death. Who are you to give it to them?
There are only 2 episodes left. Nothing works. That's because Amazon screwed the pooch by killing all the natural story flow. Their original sin was to completely ignore the words of Tolkien. The canons of narrative in any medium cannot be wholly different, and the failure of poor films is often precisely in exaggeration and in the intrusion of unwarranted matter, owing to not perceiving where the core of the original lies. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe, smash the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments down below. And share this video all over the internet. And so you know I am streaming every Wednesday on Slayer Unchained at 2 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. UK time. And again on Sunday on Slayer Nation with my great panel of guests. Same time, same channel. Hope to see you there. To win every battle and stay true to yourself, all you have to remember is, we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always forward.
Sauron.